right. My goodness, another week has gone by. Wow. And we actually have a theme for today. Now, I've done this before, but not for quite some time, and I don't even know if I did the same songs or not. But this is a theme dedicated to the late, great Art Van Dam, whose name you have heard me mention many times. Now, Art didn't write, I think he wrote one song that I know of, but he had 40 albums, so he was playing a lot of other people's songs, and some of them, in fact, one or two, maybe the songs I play today, he had on several of his albums, obviously his favorites. So when I say Art Van Dam songs, I say Art Van Dam recorded songs, because Art didn't write these songs. And of course, that first one was Cheek to Cheek from 1934. Now, I guess it came from a movie or a show called Top Hat. Now, I don't know how long that lasted, but I had never heard of it. And so today I'm just going to use, the sounds or the vibes in the accordion, because those were the dominant instruments in the Art Van Dam quintet. He had guitar, accordion, vibes, bass, and drums. So I can't get a real great guitar sound on this thing, so I'll just stick with the accordion and vibes, and I think that'll probably get us through. So the next tune was written in 1941 by Juan Tizol. Who? Juan Tizol. Who's Juan Tizol, Coach Dave? Well, I'm going to tell you. Juan Tizol was a trombone player in the Duke Ellington Orchestra, and he wrote a few tunes, actually. And, of course, he wrote them, and Duke recorded them with the band, so it became a quote-unquote Duke Ellington tune, but he did get credit for writing these tunes. And this tune is called Perdido. Again, this one that I played quite a bit. And I guess it was dedicated or inspired by a section in New Orleans, not New Orleans, New Orleans, called Perdido, which, shall we say, was not the actual nicest section of town, but anyways, something, somewhere, somehow inspired Juan Tizol to write Perdido. So let's see if we can figure out what it sounds like. Perdido. Of course, Art left us February 15th, 2010. That was not a pleasant time, but I knew Art, met him on several occasions. In fact, I used to live in, for you folks in Australia now, you know we're in Massachusetts, you know, the state with a hook on it. Well, Boston is, believe it or not, the capital, and south of that is a town called Quincy, and I used to live in Quincy many years ago, and I had Art in, and he did a concert for us at the North Quincy High School. And of course, afterwards, everybody comes back to the house, and there is Art Van Dam holding court in my living room. I want to tell you, that was pretty exciting stuff. Well, this next tune is a little more familiar, and this tune was written in 1947 because somebody made a movie and they needed a song for the movie. And the movie came from a book which was written in 1944. And in that book, they mentioned a street called Green Dolphin Street, but not a lot, but they decided to call the movie Green Dolphin Street. So the song had to be On Green Dolphin Street. And this is one, like I said, you would hear Art play quite a bit. So On Green Dolphin Street. So here's what it sounds like. On Green Dolphin Street. I have no idea what the book or the movie was about, or even if it was a hit, but at least the song was, and it has become a jazz standard. Now this next tune, 1939, came from a musical. This tune I consider the greatest tune ever written. It's probably pretty much my favorite. And without getting technical, it has a lot of stuff in it that's real different. You don't see in a lot of tunes. It's called All the Things You Are. So again, this was one of the ones that if he could have, he probably would have played it 10 times every concert because he was always playing this tune at his concerts and on several of his albums. So, All the Things You Are. All the things you are. All the things you are. I don't know if that's a good saying or bad saying, but anyway, is that at a wedding or a divorce court? But we won't get into that. Now, this next tune also is one that Art played quite often. It's not really a well-known tune. I think Ella Fitzgerald did it and people like that. And it was written in 1937. And right around that time, some movie came out, something about wind. Oh, Gone with the Wind, that's what it was. And the fellow who wrote this song titled it Gone with the Wind. Now, he claims no influence from the movie. He just, he wrote words and the words fit and it became Gone with the Wind. Well, like I said, 1937, so they're all gone now, so who knows? You take the guy's word for it. It's a nice tune. Like I said, not a lot of people do it. It's called, oh yeah, Gone with the Wind. So here we go. with the Wind, Gone with the Wind. Well, you know, we normally do about 6 tunes on each show, but I thought we might have a little extra time today, so I'm going to throw in a little bonus tune for you. Again, obviously, Art did it. It was written in 1953, and this is another one of those tunes that not a lot of people did. In fact, Frank Sinatra, I think, was one of the first people to record it, and he titled his album after this tune. It's a pretty tune, I think one of the prettiest tunes ever written. It's called Here's That Rainy Day. Slow it down a little bit. Here we go. That rainy day. You know, I was just thinking as I was playing that song a few years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I got a phone call, and it was a young lady, and she said she had a dog, and she said her dog loved accordion music, and whenever he heard an accordion, he would sing to it. And she said that, you know, I'd kind of like to make his last few days happy if I could. Would you play with the dog? Of course, you know, absolutely. So it's probably the following night or that night, I don't know what it was, she, you know, this car pulls in the driveway and this lady gets out with a dog, and I guess her husband, boyfriend with her. And we're up on the porch, on the back porch, and it's raining, of course. Dog's name was Marty. Marty came up to me and she showed me how to be able to touch him, pat him, how to feed him yummy, so, you know, so he behave himself. And I'd look, and as, you know, I thought, gee, this does not look like an old dog. This looks like a young dog. Well, come to find out, Marty had been terribly, terribly abused as a puppy. and he was uncontrollable. And all the experts had taken him, couldn't do anything with him. So this young lady says, you know, do you mind if I try this? Oh, yeah, sure. And she was not a trained dog trainer or anything, and she had got Marty to the point that he would do that. He would sit beside me. However, unfortunately, Marty was due to be put down 2 days later. So Marty and I sat there, and I played and he sang, and we did Here's That Rainy Day, which is appropriate in many different aspects of that story. And of course, 2 days later, Marty was no longer with us, but I will never forget that experience. Okay, enough of that. Final tune of the day, we're running out of time. It's called Makin' Whoopee, 1928, from a show called, oh yeah, Whoopee. So let's see if we can, well, not, well, you know. Makin' Whoopee. All right. Well, we're close to the end of our time. Maybe I didn't need that extra tune, but oh, by the way, Art Van Dam would have done the same thing. That's the kind of man he was also. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my my tribute to Art Van Dam. He was obviously the pioneer of jazz accordion, the greatest in the world at the time. And a gentleman, he really was. So thank you all again. I haven't thanked you yet, but thank you for watching, listening, tuning in. And of course, the big guy behind the glass, Austin. I don't think I threw too many curves at him today. So thank you all, and here we go.